market, and then they are selling their SAP licensing as a S4 HANA with the Brim solution. Okay, but Brim has three modules in it, majorly. Okay, and integrating with the other module is called some financial accounting and contract accounts management and all. But majorly we have to focus on three modules here in the solution perspective. So one is subscription order management, okay, which is of small component. I would not say it's a very bigger component. So subscription order management itself is one of the module, and which resides, okay, in the native S4 HANA CRM module. Okay, you might have already worked on or might have known about the customer relationship module, right? But now that module is completely embedded with the S4 HANA. Okay, so if you see, this is the S4 HANA box. Okay, S4 HANA 2023 version, whatever we are going to learn everything using the same standalone S4 HANA, but provided in this S4 HANA we have activated, okay, business functions related to BRIM. So the existing CRM functionalities are already embedded under the services. So now we are not, okay, solutioning anything with the name of CRM here. We are solutioning everything for a particular client requirement if they have multiple services, okay, where all the customer or CRM related functionalities are comes under the, okay, services module. So now no
Rahul, if you
more
don't
CRM.
mind, sorry to interrupt. Can you maximize the screen? Is it
My
possible?
screen is already maximized. I don't know, like,
Mhm.
is it for others too that my screen is so small?
Yes, for me also it's small.
I don't know. How do I? Let me.
Yeah, ఏంటి?
Is it better now, guys?
Yeah, you can go ahead, Rahul. You can go ahead.
Okay, 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 okay. So now, whatever I'm talking about, the native modules of CRM, right? So all the CRMs are already embedded within the services now. Okay. So when comes to this, one minute, where are we? Okay, now I think it's better, little better. Yeah. Now when comes to the module called subscription order management is already, okay, available and then sitting inside the services module. Okay. So the functionality is very less here in order to manage all your order management capabilities. Okay, especially on the subscription side. So we will talk about more on this subscription order management. And when it comes to the convergent invoicing, okay, so this is the second module. So convergent invoicing is one of the module which will be helpful to have a huge, okay, volumes of the transactions, okay, to be properly managed or summarized or aggregated or consolidated everything together, and how we can do the billing and then invoicing, where this convergent invoicing has that capability. Okay, and it will be integrating with the finance, okay, contract accounts receivable and then payables, okay, how the general ledger integrations and how the postings would be happening, and then how the payments collections and whatever the processes what we have today in the, okay, finance area, especially on the contract account management level. So this is one of the prerequisite for that particular integration. So convergent invoicing is the main module which deals with the, okay, multiple services, where how you effectively, okay, bring together into a invoicing capability and how are you sending these, okay, consolidated invoices to the customers. So this is where one of the module, and it has its own capability and some of the advantages where we will be, okay, learning as part of the Brim solution. So these two are, okay, inside the existing S4 HANA box itself. So whatever we are talking about the subscription order management, so that is already there here with a very little component, okay. And when comes to the convergent invoicing, so we have already financial accounting, and underneath there is a FICA module. So financial accounting and then contract accounts receivable and then payable, okay, in which you have convergent invoicing is the module which is of Brim component. So there are a lot of other integrations too, but up to invoicing, what exactly the capability of the module which we are going to learn, okay, as part of the Brim solution. So it is tightly integrated with the contract accounts receivable and payable. Okay, that's one thing. And lastly, okay, there is another module called convergent charging. Okay, so convergent charging is the particular product is not exactly the SAP okay developed one. So this is not available in SAP at all. Okay. So there was a company called Hydeal in 2009. SAP acquired that company. It's a France-based company, and they have developed this particular project product. Okay, with a Java base. So if you see this particular product, it feels look and like, okay, with the UI capability whatever you have now. So this is kind of the accessible mode where you just get into this particular product as a convergent charging. So since SAP bought this company, and they have tightly integrated with the S4 HANA, so this product is always handshaking with the SAP HANA, okay, and the data is synchronized between these two servers, two systems always. So whatever the transactions being taken place all over in the OM side, order management side, and there are other use cases where it integrates with the external middleware applications as well. So any of the transactions would come to uh, SAP Convergent Charge. So there are some of the integration aspects where we will be looking at it. But overall, so what exactly this product does? Okay. So this product is useful to do the rating and charging for the high volume of the consumptions. So let's say you have subscribed to one of the telco, okay, service. So let's say broadband FTTH connection has been, okay, taken from Airtel or Jio in India. All right. So this broadband has different plans altogether. The service which you have taken is like 100 Mbps or 200 Mbps for per month, which you have to pay probably 1500 bucks, right? So these kind of a plans are being made overall within the Brim effectively, okay, as a standardized solution, but in which how much the usage has been incurred, okay, in every hour. If you want to have your usage details completely as a customer, so that has to be captured somewhere in any of the back office systems where that has to be rated properly. And if it is beyond some committed usage, so what is the treatment of the experience with the customer, and also like how you want to charge to the customer if it is beyond some, okay, committed capacity or okay, committed or agreed plans what you have already taken or subscribed. So all these capabilities where, okay, you can easily manage in order to push like millions of the consumptions data, and all these millions of the consumption data, how effectively this, okay, tool is going to rate them, and how effectively it, okay, charge the customer. So this is how one of the major advantage of this particular product, where SAP bought it and then it tightly integrated with the SAP, and now they are coming up with a solution called Brim overall. Okay, so in overall training program, so this is a SAP certification content, okay, where I have taken the index from there. Like we have a BR 234 and then 245 and 235. So these three uh, codes are from SAP certification. So whatever the uh, training agenda which has been taken from the same certification SAP official certification course itself. So we will be going and then dealing with all these units one by one, and we will complete the journey. Okay. So before that, let me just give you some insights of these Brim solution, of what exactly it does. Okay, with one of the example. So here, as I said, subscription order management, and then convergent invoicing and convergent charging. So if I take the example, then at least you will understand what is the significance of all these three modules as part of the Brim solution. So let's say uh, where exactly these Brim can be i- implemented, or to whom. Okay, so who are the clients, right? We are implementing it. So whoever having the business model, consists of subscriptions. So can anyone give the examples of what subscriptions are all about today in the market, where they can go and implement SAP Brim? Just for an example.
Geo, you can say Geo,
Okay. So Geo, fine, good,
and
Netflix,
very good. Come on, so many we have.
Amazon Prime,
Yep. Hmm.
our phone bills, our Airtel, our telephone services.
Yeah. Yeah. So telco, whatever
Yeah,
the Geo, Airtel, and all comes into the telco industry.
yeah.
Netflix and then Amazon Prime is comes under media industry. Okay, media and enterprise, which I would call it. Okay, fine. Then you are using the laptops every day, and you are connecting to different clients through VPN, right? And also you have a lot of applications which are being used in a day-to-day basis in our daily life, right? As part of the job, or even our personal needs. So there are a lot of other industries too. Okay, courier industry. Okay, transportation has some subscriptions as well. It's not that delivering the goods, physical goods, so it involves some of the subscriptions too. Okay, and then tooling industry, right? You have a fast tax where you have some top up amount, or some of the packages where you can even go with it through any of the bank collaboration, for some of the regular enterprises. So your FASTag is taking care to debit whenever you cross the tolls. Not
consumer
only
industry,
just
can we say, Rahul?
not
Sorry to
only
interrupt.
just sorry.
Consumer industry, can we say, because
Yeah,
they
if
have some services, right? Like Eureka Forbes or some other.
yes, yes, maybe FMCG or maybe
FMCG.
consumer industries, I would say, with very limited products, okay, or subscriptions with they do have. But if you go ahead with the okay consumer industry where all your appliances are going with the AMC, right? Where your annual subscriptions are, or whatever the okay term-based subscriptions are involved, or medical equipments, and then photocopiers, right? So all these medical equipments like your CT scan, MRI scans, and then any of the bigger equipments are not being sold to the okay customers directly. So they charge only 50%, and the rest of the 50% based on the okay usage which they charge to the customers. And if you take any of the okay monopoly industry of these photocopiers, right? Xerox, Canon, okay, or whatever the machines which they sell, right? That is of just 5 to 7 years which that machine works. But based on the capacity of the machine, so the number of copies are metering here, okay. So all these usage patterns will be captured by these okay companies, and then accordingly they charge to the customers, okay, month on month, maybe year on year, or maybe every quarter. And after 5 or 7 years, so that machines will go on to the scrap, okay. So you will not get any AMC, no service, no space, nothing. So that is how they do have their monopoly, okay, in their market, what they are offering today, right? And you forgot the main industry, okay, that is your SaaS industry, right? So everything is now in the SaaS. What is SaaS? Come on, guys. What is SaaS? Software as a service, right? Yeah, you already knew it, but yeah, I think the terminology, market terminology. I'm not talking about SAP. I'm just talking about how the market terminology can being today, okay, selling their products. If you go to the AWS, Amazon Web Services, right, Azure, and Google Cloud Platforms, if you go to the Adobe, so these are all the major companies, they are selling their products, okay, to the customers over the cloud. That means completely subscription based, right? If you go to the Amazon, AWS.com, Azure.com, GCP, Adobe, okay, so all the products are like purely they are selling to the customers over the cloud. So you have to have internet, you need to have okay the subscription to be get fulfilled by okay having that whatever the agreement based on their offerings, and then you are free to use, right? So how are you using the remote desktop and then Citrix today? So these applications are completely on the cloud. You are just having a very minimum capacity of your laptop. You are connected to VPN, or maybe without VPN. You have some okay cloud subscriptions where you are getting into the AWS.com, or maybe any of the EC2 console where you can just punch your credentials, and then you are free to use over the internet, and which is provided by the okay these major service providers over the cloud, right? So everything is subscription based. You can see hell lot of products which they are offering, not to the direct customers like us. Our customer products are very less, right? But whereas in the big enterprises like if Geo or Netflix or Amazon, they have a very bigger okay infra, and then they do have a bigger production servers and all, right, in their landscape. So everything they are running over the cloud, whatever they have used their systems for their operations, right? So in that understanding, there are a lot of products inside to it. And Adobe is the company. Earlier, if you want to have a Photoshop software, right? So what you do, usually you just go and buy one of the Photoshop, okay, CD, and you just insert and then install that particular Photoshop in your PC, and that's it. Okay, that particular software version of that Photoshop will be for the next 3 years or 5 years. So there is a limited, okay, support for those particular softwares. And after that era, then you just go and okay, go into the adobe.com, and you can download the Photoshop software, and they will give you one of the license key for that particular activation of the Photoshop, and that is valid for some certain period, certain term, and you need to end up paying that amount upfront, and then you download that particular key and you punch it and you install it. That is the second stage of what how the software applications being used today. But now the era has been completely shifted to the cloud, right? So now you are just simply subscribing it. You need not to download anything. Okay, so you are just getting into the adobe.com, whatever the okay service provider to provision the particular software, how to use it, okay, via internet, and you do it however you want, right? So this is how overall these many industries has, okay, and there are ticketing tools, okay, maybe bookings, your travel bookings, okay, your travel industry. So now there are companies like Uber in US, right? So they have a very good offerings for their okay drivers. If you drive like 1200 miles in a particular month, okay, you will be getting a credit of another 200 miles extra, okay, as a free of cost. And 1200 miles you have to pay this much, okay. If you are using more than 1200, anyway you are getting 200 credits, right? So if you are using below 1200, you will be having some fixed price for the particular mile, and beyond 1200 the price is reduced to maybe 1 mile, okay, $2 to maybe $1.5 like that. So there are some kind of a marketing offers, okay, for their customers in the subscription world. So travel industries also come into the picture. And the Apple, okay, iTunes, they are already using Brim today. Okay, that is kind of event. So whenever you download anything from the App Store, or whenever you download any songs from the iTunes, so there will be a some okay event which will be triggered, and that has to be rated and then maintained for their okay FI integrations and all. So for that they are already using it, but not end to end of all these modules, but they are using CC and then okay FICA integrations of SAP. So likewise, there are a lot of okay market opportunities for SAP to come up with the SAP Brim solution, and also in the market there are some cloud solutions available from SAP subscription billing. Okay, this is a cloud-based application SP. But now, anyway, the capability and then the advantages of a Brim slowly shifting into the subscription billing. But we are not dealing okay with any of the subscription billing. It's a very limited version where you cannot achieve all the use cases with this. So you have to have some on-prem solution where okay Brim is available. Okay, now, so when it comes to the subscription order management, just give me 10 minutes so that okay we can understand something, and then probably if you have any questions we can discuss. So in the subscription order management, simply what we are dealing with it, your customer details, okay, who is the customer, where he resides, what's the region, and from which currency is buying these offers from any of these industries. Okay, so all these details we need, and what kind of subscription product. Okay, so this is not a physical product, it's a subscription based product. Okay, it's kind of a service only. but it's not a service that you are going to give for a particular physical good, right? It's kind of completely intangible one, and then it's a subscription based software service, I would say. Anything. Okay, it's kind of purely a subscription service based products which we are dealing with, okay, in the Brim area majorly. Okay, so we have to understand these two as a prerequisites, and after that, how to book your order. Simple. So you should be in the lens of this industry, that you are sitting, okay, at the side of this industry, and then you are implementing SAP for these industries. Okay, we are just end consumers, but you are a consultant. You should be always in the lens of industry, how they think, what they sell, what they offer, okay, what you can best, okay, give it to the customers in terms of the, okay, business use cases, how the operational experience would be solution. So all these things you have to keep in your mind. So you are not sitting at the customer or a end consumer side, you are sitting at the industry side, okay, so that you can envision lot of use cases while implementing or learning SAP Brim. So in that perspective, so how to book the order for a customer. Okay. So what are the major prerequisites or some of the attributes are inside the order management? Okay. So that you have to deal with. So majorly here, so offering details and pricing, and then discounts, if any, right? If any taxes, and, okay, variations of your dynamic pricing, if customer is buying from different regions or different countries, or maybe the kind of offering for their particular products has some kind of a variation in the price and all. So how do you bring all these together? And at the end of the day, you have to make an agreement called, okay, subscription contractual agreement with the end customer, with the company, okay, between these two. How do you make this particular contract? So as and when I say subscription, right? So majorly every subscription there is a term associated to it. Term is what? So your subscription is maybe monthly, or maybe quarterly, maybe half yearly, or maybe yearly, right? Or maybe daily also, right? And also you have endless subscriptions for some time. So let's say your Netflix. You don't have any fixed term that you are end up paying every month, okay, 999 rupees, right, for a next 1 year. So this is the fixed amount. It's not like that. So once you have activated, you have subscribed for a monthly subscription. So as of now, today, the monthly subscription is just 999 per month. And as long as you are paying every month, okay, your Netflix subscription is getting, okay, continued and activated. So there is no any term, there is no any fixed validity for this particular subscription, right? So there are some variations overall in the subscriptions, okay, which you have to understand. So once you understand the business use case of any of these industry, so how do you bring all of them into SAP using the Brim, okay, capabilities? And one more example, let's say telco, okay. So you have a simple example which I used to take every time. So Airtel 999 Freedom Plan. So this is what one of the plan which you have taken as a monthly subscription. It's a monthly subscription, and you end up paying 999 per month. So it's a month on month which is going to continue. And let's say this is the postpaid. Okay, and there are flavors with the same plan with the prepaid also, but upfront you have to get that recharged, and then you will get the other benefits. But in this plan, what are the benefits you are getting it, or what are the entitlements you are getting, okay, along with this subscription? So what you get, simple 2 GB per day data browsing, right? So data bucket, I would say. You have the capacity of 2 GB every day per day, okay? The same way 100 SMS per day. And the same way you have unlimited voice or video calling. So you just see the difference here. Maybe by okay, anyway, you are already experienced about these plans and all, which you are already using the mobile services today, right? With any of the operators. But here, this is the plan which you have activated, but you are saying this is a monthly plan, right? But when it comes to the entitlements, there is a daily buckets inside this particular plan. So that means you have to implement such kind of a complexity using SAP Brim that the customer is paying 999, but you are giving these benefits to him. But inside the back office systems that is in your SAP, how do you handle this 2 GB per day? How do you handle this 100 SMS as a bucket, right? Per day. So customer can exhaust his 2 GB data bucket in first 8th hour itself in the morning by okay 8 o'clock. So he has already exhausted 2 GB. He has okay no balance left. So simply what the kind of a treatment which you have to give as part of the product offering, and he has already finished 100 SMS in a day itself, then he cannot able to send the SMS to any number. Then how the treatment would be for the customer? So somewhere or other you have to handle everything and you have to understand these use cases and implement using SAP Brim, and you have to authenticate this information as and when some information is asked to you, and immediately you have to give the response back to them. Then the network relevant okay applications are tightly integrated and then it handles accordingly. So finally that comes to your device and then it will tell you, hey, you have exhausted your daily quota of your 2 GB by this time. So now I cannot provide you 100 Mbps of the speed, which as part of the initial offering, right? But I'm throttling the speed of 64 kbps, but you are free to access any of the site. But your speed is completely less here. And if it is 100 SMS, then you are no longer being sent any of the SMS further since your bucket is already exhausted. Okay, so this is called kind of a subscription of your okay monthly plan, which is comes under your subscription order, where your products are dealing with it, where Airtel 999 Freedom Plan itself is the subscription product, and whoever the customer, the details has to be taken care here. And if any of the okay unlimited voice which you are saying only on the on net, what is on net and off net, guys? Any idea? Come on, we're all using telco services. It's a simple. So if you have taken Airtel plan, you're calling to any of the number. Okay, if that number is Airtel number again, the calling party number or a called party number, these two numbers are Airtel, then Airtel to Airtel is on net, Airtel to Geo is off net. Simple. Okay. But if you are within India, so this is the plan offering today, unlimited voice, but you are making a international call, and international calling is allowed for some 100 minutes maybe with this particular plan for a specific country. Okay, then this international calling differentiation based on the number which you receive to SAP, and based on that whether I have to rate to the customer or not, and I have to charge to the customers or not. So I have to charge to the customer, right? At the end of the day, so this is not part of this particular plan. right? So in the postpaid bill, there has been some certain limit where your credit limit is already taken care, and up to maybe 1,000 rupees. So if you make any of the international calling, that has been allowed, but at the end of the month, whenever you are generating the bill, so those international calling number details and how much they have charged, everything is being maintained and sent to the customer. So how it is happening overall? So this is where your the integration of all these three modules, where we are capturing each and every call details, if they are very much valid, and these details are need to be rated with some certain price, and then at the end of the day we have to come up with some charged amounts, where we need to charge to the customer. Okay, so that's where, so I would say this is one of the module in SAP which is already proven today. Even for telco, if you have a huge volume of the consumptions or usages, okay, all these things are effectively managed, and they have capability or advantage or features functionalities to come up with how we can charge the customer effectively, integrating with the financial modules and everything. Okay, so the same way the convergent invoicing, where okay using the charged items generated by this, where your 99 freedom plan is determine the price of 999 amount in the order management, and that need to be charged to the customer. So how you charge it to the customer? In the form of billing. And what you send to the customer, that is the document called invoice. Okay, so all these capabilities at the end of the day, whether it is coming from this module to this, where convergent invoicing does the same way. See, after the subscription is already done, there has been any additional usages or additional charges to be incurred, and that has to be charged to the customer, like international calling. So all these details are being triggered to this product directly, and this product finally does the rating, and it come up with the charging amounts, and all these charged amounts need to be billed. That is where the billing document need to be generated. So this module again, go and talk to this module, and where all these charged amounts are being pushed back to convergent invoicing, where billing and then invoicing happen for the additional usages, where we can integrate with the regular line items of this monthly billing line item information along with the usages together. You can even send a one single invoicing statement to the customer. So in the high level net to net, right? So the order management capabilities are being taken care in the subscription order, and at the end of the day, for the billing and invoicing, against which items to be taken care, or which amounts to be charged to the customer, so that has been being pushed here, and then convergent invoicing is going to be managed the same way for a rating and charging purpose. So this is the product which will be tightly integrated here, and all these rated items, which are a huge consumptions, in the real time, but in the training program, we might be mocked up with some certain very less data, but not huge volumes of the data. But how it works, that is what you will be going to understand. So all these things will be at the end of the day bring up with the charged amounts, and then sending back to the invoicing purpose. So this is what overall these three modules has lot of prerequisites, and in order to come up with this particular end-to-end flow to do the invoicing and to do the rating and charging, we have to learn each and every sub areas of this particular module, and we will go and take one of the example of any industry. Okay, you just take any of the industry except telco is a too much complexity where it requires a lot of time. But other than telco, you take any industry, go to the site, and we will take the products and pricing section information there in the site, take one of the product offering, and exactly we will try to implement in our training program. So this is how SAP Brim is going to give the advantage of these kind of industries, okay, where they can implement easily. Okay, yeah, I'll pause for some questions now. You get me what I'm talking, guys? At least you can visualize
So,
something or imagine
so
something.
actually, I'm not. So Rahul, I would like to know, like you, I have a confusion about the subscription billing, subscription order management, also the flow of how things are. Like when you write like this, when you say this, at that time we understand, but it's very confusing when you put everything in a just like a spreadsheet. It's not helping us. At least me, it doesn't help me to go in a flow. I don't understand. Tomorrow
Mm,
when I come, I look at this. I don't understand anything that's been said actually.
mm,
So,
mm,
so basically, I really didn't understand what the flow is because
mm.
conversion
Okay.
charging is supposed to be the one that's going to charge and tell us like, okay, how much should we charge it, and then it should go to convergent invoicing, right?
Mm, mm.
I understand some of the things you said, but the flow and everything is not clear,
Okay. Okay.
and the way you wrote it confuses.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So why I have like used this spreadsheet, right? So see, if I go and then explain these particular slides, right? So this is so much okay convergent with a lot of other things. So I just don't want to give that insights at this moment. So that's what, at least on a high level, okay, what kind of industries are being used or implementing this SAP Brim today, and what are the major modules here. Okay, so with the one or two examples, how these modules are going to be help on a high level, very high level, so that we can get into the one by one, okay, during the training program, and then we can go okay on. So that's the idea. But when you see the slide, right, so it's a simple okay subscription life cycle, how exactly it happens, right? So there is a okay customer, and then okay they can come up with any of the market offers which they can buy, right? So this is where the order management, where your sales and distribution module which we have today, right? But sales and distribution is always deals with some delivery related products mostly. Yeah, even though we have a capability of to deal with the service contracts and service products and all, but subscriptions are not inbuilt as a standard. So that's where like we are using this subscription order management effectively for those kind of industries where we can target. So the order capability are almost similar, but only the thing is you have some kind of a validity which is going to play a bigger role. That means your term would be month, day, or quarter, or whatever it may be. But within that particular term, what are the major use cases in terms of the ordering? Okay, that we need to understand more and more when we are getting to the next level, right? But when we talk about these software as a service or any of the subscriptions, right? So if you wanted to have any of the software like Adobe Photoshop or maybe Office 365 or Windows 11, okay, or any of the uh, cloud application software components you wanted to use it as application, right? So all these things need to be fulfilled, need to be activated, need to be provide a service to you that you are going to use it immediately. It's not just you bought some of the Office 365 from the cloud, but you don't know how to use it, how to access it first of all, right? So there is an association with the end customer to fulfill that particular service where the activation is coming to the picture, right? So that's where the order fulfillment is also one of the activity which we are dealing with the subscription order management. And at the end of the day, how to deal with the particular subscription with the end customer, and what is the amounts, what is the quantity, what is the attributes, what is the price components, and all together like being handled in the subscription order management module, and at the end of the day, which will be sent to the convergent invoicing for the billing and invoicing purpose. And later point of time, once the invoicing is already sent to the customer, but there are a lot of background work which you have to recognize the revenue, and you have to do the postings and enable some of the payments based on the payment methods and then terms of payments of the customer chosen during the quote or order itself. So there are a lot of other activities where you have to do some collection payment processes to be initiated at the end of the day to recognize the revenue, right? So all these integrations are being happened with a tight integration of your core FI finance, FICM modules, where your convergent invoicing is sitting here tightly integrating with the order management, and eventually it talks to the core area of the finance. So this is what where overall the subscription life cycle using this Brim. But other side, what I have said about the convergent charging is the component. So this is one of the product, right? So this product talk to SAP, where all the usages will come from the external system, where all the middleware applications are being tightly integrated here, and all the consumptions with the example which we talked about are directly sent to here, and it does the rating, and it generated the line items, and eventually that line items will come back to convergent invoicing for the billing and invoicing. So this is how the flow. Okay.
So if there is only a change in the amount that we are actually billing, then only convergent charging comes into place. No?
Yes. Yes. If beyond the usage, okay. Let's say, for example, uh, I don't know whether you might have used any of the software applications products. So let's say you have Slack or a Teams and all those stuff where we are using today, right? So those are all subscription based from Microsoft, right? So in our company, let's say Accenture has 10,000 employees in one of the location. All these 10,000 employees are being used these teams, right? But these teams are being provided by Microsoft, over the subscription or the cloud. So as and when you logged into that particular teams, then only the metering will be happening. So daily, or maybe hourly, or maybe monthly, if 10,000 users are being used, then this is the charge. If it is beyond 10,000 users or below 10,000 users, there is a slab, there is a tier pricing where you have to charge to the customer by the Microsoft. Okay, if that kind of a use cases, so where the committed capacity or a committed quantity or beyond committed quantity which comes under as a overage, so there is a differential pricing for the committed capacity of a 10,000 teams or Microsoft Office 365 usages, right? And beyond 10,000 users are getting activating Office 365, there will be a differential charging for the same customer. So these kind of variations in the usage patterns, so that will be handled, integrating with the external Microsoft applications with the SAP CC, and CC is the engine, it does the rating completely, and eventually it generates the charged items and go into the CI or S4 HANA for the billing and invoicing. This is the flow. Okay. So any other questions, guys? Yeah. If you see this slide, right?
Rahul,
So
one doubt. Rahul,
yeah.
hello. Yeah, one doubt. Now you said that everything based on the subscription, it will be calculated and charged to the customer in SAP Brim, right? In the current
Mm.
scenario.
Mm.
Whereas in previous, if you see legacy, suppose SAP, the current systems, how they calculated this kind of billing and all in general scenario in ECC or S,
In ECC, they have
we don't have.
implemented. We don't have a standalone solution for it. They have done a lot of customizations in the SD area in
Mhm.
order to bring this subscription capability. Okay, using the service contracts. CS contracts, and they have done it. But usages are being calculated outside of SAP with any of the external systems applications, and eventually they send the already calculated amounts to us so that we will be directly integrating with our invoicing with the help of CS contracts, and then they used to do the billing. So it's not within SAP. So all the usage history details are completely outside of SAP. So
So,
SAP is
okay.
not the
Third.
engine where you can hold that millions of a data, and they cannot manage today with the existing capability. That's where the Brim came into the picture with a lot of enhancements done, and then now it's evolved like anything.
Okay.
Okay, Geo in India is running on SAP Brim. So they
No,
have almost yeah
now they are running
the
an SAP Brim, understood, Rahul. But
yeah
earlier, how they calculated the billing by, though they have
they
SAP
have their own
own third
standalone
internal standalone
applications
applications.
outside of
Okay.
SAP. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay.
there are some Huawei and Ericsson, Samsung, and some other applications where they manage all the billing capabilities. But now all Reliance